Hey guys, hope everybody's doing good out there today. Thanks for tuning back into the channel, much appreciated. And today I'm going to take a few minutes in this video and I'm going to give you guys a comprehensive overview of treble hooks. I'm going to sort of let you guys, I'm going to show you my box that I have with my treble hooks in it. I'm going to show you what I've learned about treble hooks as far as what baits that I use on which lures. This is something that's taken me an entire career to figure out. I've used every treble hook out there on the market that you can possibly come up with, and the box that I've assembled here is what I consider the best trebles for a lot of different lures. And this is something that has taken forever because how I've determined and came up with this box was through trial and error and losing a lot of fish on treble hooks and catching a lot of fish on treble hooks and being aware of how fish were hooked on it. And believe me, you know, the information that I'm going to give you guys here has come through a lot of the school of hard knocks, because I've lost a ton of fish on treble hooks over the years, and it seems like every year I lose fewer and fewer fish as I really determine which are the best hooks to use under what situations. So I'm going to show you guys my box, go through each one of them and give you that info. But real quick, before we get started, just wanted to go over the housekeeping tips for the week to keep the bills or keep the lights on around here. If you guys haven't had a chance to go on fishingamoment.com to check out Johnny and I's lake map breakdowns, please do that. Just go on fishingamoment.com, hit the lake map breakdown section. We got fall maps, we got winter maps coming up of all your favorite lakes. It's a really good resource. Also, if you guys are interested in any of these treble hooks here, I'll include the Baitworks link. Baitworks Tackle here in Springfield, Missouri. You can go by the store or you can order them online. It's a great way to support the channel. Two other things, also, if you guys are interested in any on-the-water lessons with me, just shoot me a message on my private message on my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler, or my Instagram page, Blockett Randy. And get all that. And finally, if you guys are interested in becoming a member of the channel and supporting the channel that way, just go to my main page in my YouTube channel, click on the About section, and click on Intuitive Memberships. Gives you the information on all the bonuses that you get for becoming a member of the channel. It's a great way to support what's going on here. Okay, sorry about that long-winded little shameless plug there. Let's get into this tackle box here. So I'm going to show you guys my box. Okay guys, here is my treble hook box that I take to all the tournaments with me. This is the box that I work out of all the time. I keep it stocked up, and I'm going to go through each one of these and sort of show you what I use. First of all, half the hooks I use, all these up here, are G-Finesse Gamakatsus, designed by my buddy, love you man, Aaron Martins there. He's the one that came up with this. Aaron got me using these hooks years ago here. And these G-Finesses here, I've got them every size between number 6s all the way up to the 1/0s, which is the real big ones here. But I'm just going to go through each box and sort of show you the ones I use for which. Now, these right here, this is a number 6 right here, the smaller ones. Now, these would be the ones that I'd use on small jerk baits, small crankbaits. A lot of times I'll take this one and I'll put it as the middle hook in a jerk bait, simply because they don't hang up quite as bad. Go over here, you got some number 4s right here. This is a little bit bigger here. These would be you know, a lot of different crankbait hooks for you know, something like rattle traps, medium running crankbaits, something like that. Something like a shad wrap would be real good for this. And I use the number 4 hooks quite a bit as a back hook on a jerk bait. It's a real good hook for that. A hook like this also is probably what I would use for like a Pop R or something, number 4. These right here, this is the number 2 size G-Finesse Gamakatsu. And this would be, you know, on just a little bit larger crankbaits. Something like this would be a good hook to use like on, say, a 1.5 square bill crankbait. This would be about the appropriate size with that. And the reason I like the Gamakatsu G-Finesses, guys, is it's a nano-coated hook. It's a real slick finish. It's got a small barb on it. It's got a needle point on there. It's a super, super stiff hook. You can't even hardly flex the thing, yet it's small diameter. It's got like every good quality of a hook. Now these right here, this is the number 1 right here. This is a bigger one. I would use these like on a bigger square bill. This would be something like on a 2.5 square bill that I would use. Possibly even on some type of a medium running crankbait, like a Norman deep little N, you know, something like that. Or maybe I'd use this like on a 3/4 ounce rattle trap or lipless crankbait, something like that. Other sizes here, you know, I've got some 5s here and in between. But the thing about this guy is the thing about the different sizes of treble hooks on the G Finesse. It's all about matching the bait that you're using to the proper talking about matching the bait to the proper size hook. This is sort of the happy medium that you want to get in treble hooks. You don't want to overpower a treble hook as far as on a crankbait. One of the things that I found, guys, through lots of years of experience, is it's better if you're trying to decide on the right size of hook, and you have a hook that maybe you think's a little too big, or maybe one that you think's a little bit too small. If you don't feel that it's like perfectly right for the bait, it's always better to go on the smaller size hook. And I know that doesn't make sense, but a lot of times as you go up in hook size diameter, the penetration aspect is more difficult because the larger diameter hooks are harder to penetrate. And that's the whole key, is penetration. Once you get one barb in a hook, if you're using a stiff hook like the G Finesse Gamakatsu, if you get one point of that hook embedded in that fish, I don't care if you got a 10-pounder. If you got a 10-pounder on a 4/0 hook and on a number 4, it's not going to come loose. It's a stiff hook, and I would rather have the penetration than the bite gap. So, you know, it's ideally you want to match the hook to the bait correctly, but if there's any doubt whatsoever, you know, go the one size smaller than what here I'm going to go through. These are not G Finesses here. These are Gamakatsu round bend treble hooks, and these are red ones. And let me pull one out here for you. Guys, I use red hooks quite a bit under certain situations. If I'm fishing for smallmouth bass, I'll use a red hook. If I'm fishing in the heat of summer in really, really dirty water, I'll use a red hook. So ideally, these hooks right here, I've got number 2s and I've got number 4s and 5s. The 4 red hook sizes that I have right here are basically for jerk baits and for square bill crankbaits in the summertime. If I'm cranking dirty water in the summer, I'm using a red hook. If I'm throwing a jerk bait in clear water for smallmouth, I'm using a red hook also. This box right here is EWGs, and if you're not familiar with what an EWG is, it's simply oops, let me get another one out here. Should have laid some of these out. But if you're not familiar with what an EWG is, you can see the bend on the barb actually bends in just slightly like that. It's not a round bend. And the time that I use these in EWG, the only time that I use them is if I'm using a bait that the hooks get crossed on it, because these EWGs, they're a fairly short shank hook. So when you're using a short shank hook like an EWG, you can get by with using a larger hook. I can pull one out of here. These things are so hard to get out of here. If I'm using an EWG like this, I can use a larger hook, but it's got a shorter shank on it right there, so the hooks don't cross. And that's one of the things that you really want to be critical of, is you do not want your hooks to cross on a crankbait, because you'll lose them for sure. Now, this box right here, I've got a mix of round bends and EWGs. This is a round bend right here. Now, the round bends I normally use like on big crankbaits. Say if I'm using something like a Megabass Deep 6 or a Megabass Big M 7.5 or DD22, I like the round bends on there, because a lot of times if you have a bass that is slapping at a bait, a round bend will catch those slappers on the point a little bit better. And I've just found out on big crankbaits, I'll use the round bend a little bit more than others. And here's some more of the Gamakatsu G Finesses right here. These are the super large size. These are actually the 1/0s right here, and real big mamas. And these right here would be for oversized baits like whopper ploppers, super spooks, you know, that type of stuff, just oversized one. And then I have some absolutely giant hooks here. These are Gamakatsu. I think they're 2/0. They're really, really big. And this would be like for a big swim bait or something like that. So anyway, guys, that's my hook box right there. That's the hook box that I use all year long. Every bait that I use that requires a treble hook comes out of this box right here. I keep it stocked, and I found that this is all I need. There's really not another hook that I found that I need that I don't have in this particular box. I'm guessing that I use the G-Finesse Gamakatsu probably, I'm going to say 75 to 80% of the time, probably closer to 80% of the time in all my fishing. And the other 20%, I'll use the round bends or the EWGs under specific situations. But I think that if you take my advice here, this right here this has nothing to do with trying to hype any type of hook or anything like that. I prefer Gamakatsu. I don't think there's another hook that has a higher quality of craftsmanship to it than a Gamakatsu treble hook. Like I said, Aaron Martin, Shinfu Kai, they've got a lot of people that really have helped design this thing. And I think if you try the ones I'm talking about, you can avoid some of the hard-learned lessons that I went through, because I literally went through about every treble hook that you can use and have found these to be the best for me. So give it a try. Let me know what you guys think. You know, I just think it'll help you land a lot more fish instead of having them jump off and pull off quite so much. But again, thanks for tuning into the video, guys. Much appreciated. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and we'll talk to you later on.